Welcome to Tanked Up's E3 Bethesda chat. Woo! All of the woos, all of the time. I'm Ben, and I'm here with Lucy.
Woo!
Woo! And Aadil.
Hey.
Woo!
Yeah!
What was that about? Hey.
It was the same fucking guy. Okay? Like, it
I
was the same guy who wooed to everything, including servers! Yeah, woo!
Dragon!
That's, oh man, Lucy, you're taking my bits. Those are the two bits I want to talk about. Greg,
I
the Dragon Lover, and the Woo Man. But, like,
Woohoo
you
Man.
joke about Bethesda fanboys, but, like, they wooed the most ridiculous non-things throughout the entire hour. Was it a half hour? It
Yeah, I
felt
think
like an hour.
I think they have to have somebody in it because you remember that the first year they started doing a press conference and it was that woman who was just going whoa yeah everything,
Right.
clearly drunk. But I think now they have to put someone in the audience there because that's the thing.
It was awful. By the end of the conference, I was really fucking annoyed. Like it was like a little hilarious, and I was like, okay, now I'm keyed into that one man's woo, and was like, fuck off. Although it was super interesting. There was one thing which there were no woos from that guy on, but the crowd really liked, and when we get to it, because I'm sure we will, I think that was an interesting observation for gamer fanboy not wooing at the.
Ooh, okay. I don't think I picked up on that.
It's probably when they were like, oh, you know, I'm guessing it was that sizzle reel where they're like, games helped me cure depression, and he's probably like,
Don't woo that bit.
Don't bring politics into my games.
No. It wasn't when the guy that came out and spoke about Wolfenstein said Nazis, let's punch Nazis, let's kill all of the Nazis, let's just stab all of the fucking Nazis.
That is exactly when that guy wooed. He didn't woo. He didn't woo at all.
Really?
Any of the Wolfenstein stuff.
So woo guy is annoying and racist. So
Oh
yeah.
no!
Woo guy was
he's
the
a
worst.
Nazi.
Someone on Twitter did a compilation cut of his woos, and it was pretty choice.
To the Nintendo Wii shop.
Yeah. So good.
Oh, it was. So the best bit about that is when Shinji Mikami is just stood there, and the guy goes woo. He just goes, oh.
Yeah.
You just see his face like disgusted at the woo.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. Well, at least he's got something to talk about for all of us. Hey.
Yeah, because nothing else happened. In
No, that was it. Boring, wasn't it? Nothing
Yeah.
happened at all in Bethesda's conference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Lucy, what did you like about Bethesda's
I
conference?
liked Doom. I don't remember the Wolfenstein bit. So I don't remember it.
Really? Oh,
I watched it this morning and I don't remember it. I don't know. At least I'm looking forward to that game regardless, so I didn't really need to see anything. But yeah, Doom. Pre-ordered that stupid helmet and
Of course.
yeah.
You can wear it on the podcast every week.
I really hope you.
You know, I hope it has like one of those like voice distorters so you can sound like the Doom Slayer.
Yeah. You could just recite the beginning intro bit.
Yeah.
The whole fucking Simpsons meme where Homer hovers over Bart in bed and just
So good. No, it comes with the soundtrack for the first game and the second game, so that's cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you can just press play as well, and metal can just blast out instantly after you've recited it.
That's a reasonable. Like those are real things to pre-order. I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't fucked up Doom. It's gonna be like I think all three of us are gonna play the next one. And if you want a helmet and some CDs,
I don't even want the helmet. I don't know why I've done it. It's like, but the thing is that I won't cancel it. But I just have a stupid helmet just strewn in my room. I'm such an idiot.
Why not? Every time you look at it, you can just think, "Woo!" I remember
So
the guy
I-
thought he was like Ric Flair or something. Like someone was just slapping his chest every single time. But
So bad. Like I was in a group watch, and like, yeah, there. By the end, we were all just like, can't riff, getting wooed, hijack's brain. Ben, what was your highlight?
Apart from Doom Eternal, I really like the look of Deathloop.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
It looks interesting, exactly, but I'm not really sure what it is. What's actually going to happen? Whether it's
No
is it a
idea.
one-on-one type of game, or is it a maybe not multiplayer? Is it kind of you can just pick one side and play that through, and there's just an AI enemy trying to get you constantly?
That would be most welcome. I don't want anyone else in my video games. Yeah, Dave Fennoy sounded like him.
Yes, it was Dave Fennoy. Yeah,
Oh, it was
I
him.
thought that. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so because it sounded just a slight gruff Lee from The Walking Dead, didn't it? Just a little gruffer.
Yeah.
It's also nice to see in the slew of brunette white guy protagonists. It was nice to see
there's
a game
black.
that had two protagonists or something, right? Or like two main characters.
Yeah.
And they were nothing like the stereotypes.
They won't be on the box art though.
Box art will just be like
Can't
a
risk
poison
angry
sign
me.
and then a little ring.
Well, if people are watching our video, I've stuck up one of the images from Deathloop. The one that Bethesda have on their website is just their two arms held out towards each other, holding a gun each. Just pointing towards each other, with some coloured circles and bits behind them. So who knows whether they'll go for something sticking a bit more with that art style, which was really nice. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely kind of stood out, especially with it being from Arcane.
Arcane, yeah.
Yeah.
With the Sonic games behind them, like having that sort of that free roaming, sort of slightly vertical kind of gameplay to it. That's got a lot of powers and things to move you around the screen and stuff. Maybe this is going to be something similar. We saw one of the girls, or the female character, kind of flash up onto a wall and run across it, sort of thing. So whether there are those kinds of things in there as well, it'll be interesting to see.
Is it third person or first person?
I don't know. Did we
thought they
see any
might have
gameplay, or was it
mentioned
just
it.
was it just sort
Yeah,
of
it was just
CG
a
trailer? I don't think
cinematics,
they had
yeah.
anything in there, did they?
Yeah, but I can't remember if they actually said it was like our next first person game or something like that. I can't remember if they said that.
No, I don't.
They did.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, it looks cool conceptually. But well, I think I'm more excited about it because I know it's Arcane. Like, I don't like the Dishonored games, but that's not because of they're bad games. It's just not for me. But
Sure.
yeah, they have a good pedigree, so it should be good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of almost hoping, almost a little bit opposite to you, Lucy, that it is multiplayer, but actually there's this kind of this story running through, and you pick one character, and you've got some maybe sort of like linear levels to go through, or some open areas to be able to get through, and it's a lot of PvE sort of stuff. And then it's a bit more kind of like Dark Souls, where someone invades your world and they come in and they've got like 2 minutes to like take you down or something like that. So you could be playing through this, and suddenly you've just got this other person, like as this other main character, just in your world trying to do something to you. And obviously it's called Deathloop, and the whole idea was one of them died, they sort of just loop back to the beginning again, or loop back to a certain point again. So that kind of sort of, there's a lot that they could actually do and play around with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice little respawn excuse in the lore, which is always good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as long as I can just play it single player only, then yeah, it'd be good if had that mode in for some. Well, whoever wants to play that way. Otherwise, keep the gamers out of my games.
All the politics, but no games.
Yes.
Perfect. Aadil, we'll loop back around to you.
I would just like to say that I found this presentation, the whole thing was incredibly meh / disappointing for the most part, except for Doom and Wolfenstein. And conveniently, those were the only two. Oh, and the and the Tokyo Ghost.
Oh yeah,
Ghostwire.
yeah.
So which is like my highlight that we haven't touched. But two of the main reasons, going back to our talk about from the Microsoft presentation, was Wolfenstein and Doom had fucking gameplay.
Yeah.
Even goddamn Fallout 76 had no gameplay in a game
Why
that's
would
been
they
out
show
for
that?
months. It was just like, how are you're saying there's new modes and stuff, and they're coming out soon, but you won't show them to us?
Yeah, it was incredible how excited people were like for, there's going to be characters in the game. I was like, oh my god, Fallout
human NPCs.
Is that bad? Wow.
Yeah. We are now on par with the original Final Fantasy. You can talk to.
I mean, I think they handled that really well. And they were always going to, because it's like, Todd Howard has that, you know.
They're not unfamiliar with being accused of janky games.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, they had to come out and say something. I think they did it in the right way, and it's like, yeah.
I was a little put off because they came back to that well and joked a little too much, because it kind of, by the end of the presentation, it felt like, okay, you're just sort of mocking the fact that it's broken, and you haven't, like, you apologized, then you referenced it, then you referenced it, then you joked about it, then you joked about it, and I was like, you don't actually, like, now it doesn't feel like you are legitimate. You haven't even said quite if you fixed everything. Like, you've talked about it enough, but not really said how it's not going to happen again, etc. So I thought it was a little too revisited. So I was like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, cool, they're like addressing it and they're really honest and frank. And then it slowly turned into this jokey shit. And I'm like, okay, now you're just literally taking the piss out of the people who bought your broken game.
I mean, they deserve it, to be honest.
Yeah.
They deserve it. I mean, they don't deserve their data to be leaked, but they certainly deserve criticism. It's like, why would you buy that game? Why did you have any faith in this?
And then, like, the reveal on that game was similarly disappointing, because it's like, okay, so the game is jank and broken, and now you fix most of those things. Let's introduce a 52-person battle royale mode, because that's what people who got into Fallout 76 wanted, was less RPG, more random action in your shitty engine.
And the shooting in those games has never been good.
That's what I mean by shitty engine. I'm like, why would you want to do a competitive battle royale? It's like, it felt very much like we're chasing some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to find reasons to keep people in, aren't they, at this point? I don't know whether they're going to have very much of a growing base for that game. It's more sort of retain who we have. You know, we got to just keep trying different things, putting different things in. You know, as Todd Howard kind of said, you know, we're listening to our fans. You know, that was sort of at the beginning when he was being a little bit more sincere about what he was saying. It's like, we've been listening to our fans, yeah, of course, and these are the things that maybe they've been telling us. So, you know, / maybe the things we'd already thought about doing before anyway. But who knows? I mean, that game is just gonna. It's just going to chug along, isn't it, really? Just doing whatever it kind of wants to do for a while.
Might get there. I mean, is it Starfield, or is that what it's called? Yeah. And Elder Scrolls 6, you know, those aren't coming out for a long while, so they didn't want to generate some money from this, so might as well keep at it. It'll get there, you know. Like, look at No Man's Sky.
True.
That's good now, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah,
completely could turn it around. Yeah.
So we're talking about that Ghostwire game.
Yeah.
Look cool.
That looks cool.
I'm glad they've moved away from the Evil Within. Like, the Evil Within seem, you know, like good survival horror games, but I'm glad they're doing something different now.
Yeah, it's mostly like, holy crap, new IP.
Yeah, 2 new IP, and like,
Yeah,
I guess so. You'll notice it's like new IP that's super early in development, so we only have teasers, but show us a flavor of the game, and then actual games with gameplay. Those were the things people liked, and then there was 45 minutes of other garbage.
There's a lot of stuff they could have cut. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be sort of like really tight. That, you know, Todd Howard would come out and be like, "Yeah, we fucked up. let's move on and tell you about all the brilliant things that we're about to do now, and just bam, 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 just smashed it out, rather than let's talk some more about the Elder Scrolls card game. Let's talk some more about sort of
Blades.
Blades.
all the dragons in
Coming to Nintendo Switch.
Elder Scrolls Online and shit. Like,
let's keep on the
good game,
horror game, and then I got some commentary about.
All right. So at least they've, as you say, with was it Ghostwire?
Tokyo.
Yes, Tokyo.
Otherwise known as Tom Clancy's TM Ghostwire Tokyo.
I mean, they gave you a flavour of it. It's that studio is good at having those horror sort of action games. Mm-hmm. So I know some of the criticism against like The Evil Within was that maybe it was a little bit sort of chuggy and a bit slow, and the kind of the level design got a little bit kind of repetitive and a bit annoying sort of in the second half of those games. Hopefully they've just gone, yeah, brilliant, we've learnt from that. Here is something a bit more fast paced. It's a bit more sort of like melee focused. It looked like the main character had some kind of abilities as well. So kind of mixing it up a little bit maybe, and kind of giving you a bit more of, rather than just running around with a gun and having to pick up ammo and stuff, it's a bit more fluid than that. So
it seems like the combat is less like tactile combat too. Like the ghosts, like everyone gets raptured, and then you're not sure. The few times we saw like the ghosty, weird, supernatural stuff, it was pretty ethereal, and like it's a lot of more pop in, pop out stuff. It seemed, at least. And that gave me hope that like there would be some interesting styles of combat rather than just, a zombie has appeared. It is a slow, shambling thing. You have the headshot to kill.
Mm.
Yeah, that had that kind of like Control vibe, like not straight out horror, just a bit creepy or spooky, as she said. She was great.
Yes, she was.
I'm not sure what her name is. Is she the director on it?
She's the game director,
yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
She won the. So going back to that Polygon video of the magic, total emotional moment. Like we had Keanu in Microsoft, and we had her, and it was just so obvious that she was like floored by being in that hall, excited, and like, look at my game, this is great. Our team's done great, and just like incredibly charming.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, when was the do you know when the Evil Within 2 came out? Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, before last. 2017.
So I don't know how big Tango are to know whether they've how far in production this was, whilst the other one was being made and then released. To know sort of maybe is this like game kind of like next year? It looked really good. Some of the lighting on the it's a rendered fucking like video that they've made. So, but some of the lighting looked really good. Just before everyone sort of got raptured, and they're scanning across sort of like a fast food joint, and there was a big yellow sign up behind them. The way the lights just reflected off of that looks super good. So whether this is maybe next gen, like early next gen, be really interesting.
Which is only about a year away, which is absurd.
Yeah, like 18 months away. Yeah.
And how is it 2020 next year?
How's it 2019 this year, mate?
Yeah,
but it's going to be 2020. Yeah,
I know.
It's like when I was just entering like a new card into details, and I was buying something online, and my new card expires in like March 2022. I was putting 1922, so I was like, "There's no way it's 2022." I was like, "Hold on, no."
We have been in the 20s for a little while now, Lucy. So it's
one might say almost 20 years.
Exactly. So, do either of you have anything to finish on Ghostwire before we go back to your next point, Aadil?
I think it just looks good, and it looks like
cool.
I'm glad to see some more mood in horror games, less just jump scares and creepy things. Darkness. I guess we've had a lot of sort of, it's dark and there's creepy zombie things or whatever, versus like legit. It seems like there were scary, tense moments when it was really bright in the world too. Like I'm happy to see, pushing back against those standard boring tropes.
And tropes, yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Sure.
Nice. So, Aadil.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to talk about was that I was sort of torn. So like there was that sort of video games helped me through tough times compilation, which I thought the actual people doing the testimony was really sweet.
Yeah.
And of course it was a callback because the first sort of compilation testimonials was like, I do this, I'm a gamer. I do this, I'm a gamer. I'm an architect, I'm a nurse, da da da. And then they brought almost all of the same people back for the second one. And I found it was compelling from like when like being empathetic and sympathetic to the people, but I found it really like too much like a mark.
Yeah, it did have that vibe.
Ploy Bethesda. Oh, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was really put off by like, well, why are you putting these in here? E3 real, like this is not padding. This is like, and none of it was like, oh yes, this game specifically. It was like, oh yeah, gaming or a community, and it was all really quickly done. It wasn't really focused. It's like, yeah, we're checking a box, even though I felt like these people were genuine.
It just didn't fit into the. Yeah, I think if they had just put that at the start of the show and just didn't have anything else scattered throughout it, I think it would have felt, a bit less markety. Because, like, Bethesda usually do that at the start of their conferences, just like have, like, a sizzle reel, like, of, like, their devs and stuff like that, so...
Yeah. I sort of expected something a bit more of it, when these people are giving sort of their testimonials and things, you kind of expected someone to come out and be like, so, because of all this and the way that games make us feel and how they've helped us and things, we are going to be doing this.
Exactly.
I expected something from that, but
that's what I mean about box checking. It just sort of felt like we think we can get some credit on this. Like it's like it was super performative, right? Even though the people who were saying it seemed genuine. The other thing I want to say about those testimonials, though, on a less serious note, is the one guy who wasn't in the second reel. So they had the reel of Bethesda customers. I'm a blah 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 blah. And then the second reel was these are my struggles. One guy was only in the first reel, and that was Greg the Dragon Lover. I love dragons. Dragon. And my God,
he's never had any problems in life, because dragons are in everything. So he's fine.
And then of course the rest. I thought Greg the Dragon Lover spoke to what I feel like Bethesda's doing right now, which is chasing people rather than thinking about things. Like with the Fallout 52. So they literally then spent the next 3 games saying, look, there's a dragon in it now. We're like, okay, you're literally just your company's guided by Greg. This is insane. But it speaks that it's the same type of mentality as like putting the Battle Royale in, right? Like I really thought that Greg is a good touchstone to. I don't feel like they really are doing anything except churning out what they think people want.
Well, that's how capitalism works. So.
And but it's not how good capitalism works, because people want uniqueness and genuineness and creative forces, and that's how you get more people. It's the cynical we're chasing after what we assume the customer is doing that ends up just making you bereft, and people can see that and then they don't like it. It's bad.
Well, let's just thank the heavens that Bethesda are not just Bethesda Game Studios.
Yeah,
and they have id and Arcane and everybody else, They
at least that side of them have a little bit more autonomy.
Yeah.
Maybe aren't guided by, they're not really guided by Bethesda, whereas Bethesda Game Studios will kind of, I expect all of them will answer to someone. But at least kind of with id or something, like their creative director is their top person they answer to, and he just goes back to Bethesda and says, "We're doing this. This is what we're making," and they do their, they'll do their checks that they need to do as a publisher does, sort of thing. Whereas game studios, you kind of feel maybe someone's gone, "Do this, put this in what you're doing," and just moving people around to shuffle and put the bits in that they think should be there, I guess.
Yeah, BGS just seems like it's on fire. It's felt like that for sort of a few years.
It has for a while. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many fucking Elder Scrolls games are there that aren't really Elder Scrolls now? Like, they're just in the universe?
Yeah, but that online, ESO online or whatever, that looks good. Like, not something for me, but it looks good. And people play it, and it's good.
Yeah. Lucy, have you got anything else you want to chat about?
No.
Right. That's a good place for us to finish on then, with our Bethesda chats for this year from the 2019 E3 conference. If you want to talk to us, you can do so in lots of different ways on all of our normal social places. Go to Facebook, Out Lives, comment here on the YouTube, chat to us at Tanked Up_cast on Twitter if you fancy it.
Or if you want to talk to the rest of the team, Out of Lives Network.
Oh yes, it's changed, hasn't it? Is it Out of Lives Network? Did you say?
Yeah, let me double check that I actually did that and didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a new Twitter address for Out of Lives. It's Out of Lives Network. Go there. Talk to us. Send us stupid gifs of cats and dragons.
Yes. Send me all the cat gifts.
Yes. Good. Right. That's it. Sorry for Bethesda. We've been Bethesda'd. Bye.
Woo!
Bethesda?
Yeah.
For Greg,
I got nothing.
We've been Todd
I got
Howard.
nothing.
For Greg, we've been
dragons. Oh.
Bye.
Ciao.
www.outoflives.net